Hi, I'm Clever and welcome back to the Clever Report. So, a Canadian immigration court a few days ago termed the two major political parties in Nigeria, PDP and APC, as terrorist organizations. So, this comes a few days ago and people are having diverse opinions on it. People are saying, why should they? They don't have jurisdiction, which I actually agree to, meddle into the sovereign country of Nigeria, trying to categorize the two prominent political organizations, one that has produced many presidents and one produced two presidents now. And some people are actually saying that this categorization is actually apt description of these political parties because they engage in thuggery, election interference, intimidation during the election and vote buying. So there are three main news sources, mainstream media news sources, the cable, Sub-Sahara reporters, and Nairaland. I'm going to read this particular heading from. So, according to the cable, a Canadian tribunal in Ottawa, Ontario District of Canada, has described the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and All Progressive Congress (APC) as terrorist organizations who engage in ballot snatching, intimidation, and violence. The characterization has contained in a judgment on application for review. The previous ruling on the review status case was handed by the Immigration Appeal Division (IAD) on March 25, 2024. Douglas Egharevba, the applicant, who is Nigerian, has appealed the decision not to grant him asylum on the grounds that he was a member of the PDP and APC at different times. In January 2019, an immigration officer declared the application was inadmissible to Canada under the paragraph 34(1)(f) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. As relates to paragraph 34(1)(b)(1) and 31(1)(c), being a member of the organization that has engaged in acts of subversion against a political government, institution, or process, or engaged in terrorism based on his membership of the PDP. The applicant has challenged the inadmissibility before the Immigration Department. He argued that he never participated in violence and manipulation and mass election in Nigeria, since that he has never engaged in personal terrorism. So, from what we read now, we see that the basis of the allegation is that they think this man, Douglas Egharevba, a former lawmaker that just appealed for asylum, has been a member of PDP or APC at a certain time in his life, is culpable in the crimes of APC and the alleged crimes of APC and PDP. What they say, the wording they use: ballot snatching, subversion of an economic process, and a democratic process. So, according to the Sahara reporters, in a statement, the federal government has strongly condemned a ruling by the Canadian Federal Court, which designated a certain political party as terrorist organization. In a statement issued on Friday, August, by Kimebi Motimi Abiefna, spokesperson for the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abuja, the government described the decision as baseless, reckless, unacceptable interference in Nigeria's internal affairs. Now, I understand, as a federal government, they have to give this kind of well-worded statements, because it looks bad for Nigeria for a court in Canada to actually come and start saying that the two major political parties in Nigeria are terrorists. But look at their standards. What they are alleging, these courts in Canada, what they are alleging, are they wrong? That's another thing we ask ourselves. Are they actually wrong? Has the APC and PDP engaged in these activities that subvert election, in this ballot snatching, thuggery, and everything? So this is a clear case of a Nigerian politician, his past catching up with him. Yes, as a patriotic Nigeria, I don't like the characterization. It looks bad on us. But sometimes in retrospect, we have to look, forget the way we feel about certain things and look inwards and check if what they are saying is actually true. These political parties in Nigeria, do they engage in these alleged crimes the court has been talking about? In my opinion, yes, they have alleged in ballot snatching, voter intimidation. So this guy, Douglas Egharevba, his past is catching up with him, in my own opinion. So according to Nairaland, the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) has fired back as Justice Phuong Ngo of the Federal Court of Canada, describing him as an ignoramus following the judgment delivered, labeling the party and the People's Democratic Party as terrorist organizations. According to the report by People's Gazette, the Ministry of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness has argued that APC and PDP were implicated in political violence, subversion of democracy, and electoral bloodshed in Nigeria. But are they lying? Have the APC and PDP not allegedly been implicated in political violence and subversion of democratic processes? So these are the two we need to start telling ourselves. Yes, you can say Canada doesn't have the right, this Canadian court doesn't have the right to, publicly term Nigerians two main political parties, but they are not actually lying. So, according to the statement given by APC, the presiding judge must be an ignoramus. We are not a party to the suit, and the court has no jurisdiction to determine the status of a Nigerian recognized political party, not to talk of declaring it as a terrorist organization, as the APC scribes Senator Ajibola Bashiru. So, I understand. I firmly understand that the court doesn't have any jurisdiction, but are they actually lying? I won't go as far as calling APC and PDP a terrorist organization. Many people can make that argument. There are many facts supporting that argument. But have they actually engaged in subverting the democratic process ever in their history? Yes, that's the truth. He said it's unfortunate that some desperate and unpatriotic Nigerians will allow the name of the country to be brought to an unpalatable commentary by racist judges on account of contrary application for asylum. Unlike is the real form of gaslighting the Nigerian politicians, these games that they play. Now, saying that we that are recognizing these things, that recognizing this pattern with APC and PDP, with ballot snatching and everything, if we criticize them or actually agree with the Canadian courts, yes, we cannot agree with their conclusion of them being terrorist organization by our own standards. We can actually agree on the fact that these political parties engage in this kind of malicious acts. It is a very, very factual statement to be made in Nigeria. Do they do a vote buying and thuggery and snatching of ballot boxes by the both parties, both major political parties? That is actually a fact. So trying to gaslight us and tell us that we are unpatriotic just because we are recognizing this fact and actually highlighting it and finding a way to come to a compromise and saying that we as a country we don't need to continue like this is an embarrassment on a world stage. And now you're telling us that we are unpatriotic. That's a real form of gaslighting. Nigerian politicians should do better. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So make sure you like, subscribe, do all the fun things. Turn on post notification. Give me your own take on the comment section. Just be respectful about it. Turn on post notification so you'll be notified anytime I drop another video. I love you, but God loves you more.